What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to both, and welcome to the house. The OCG ban list is here, and I wanted to more so let it soak in and think about what are the implications between the TCG and the OCG ban list, because they are there. No matter what you want to say, how the OCG handles certain hits and how the TCG handles certain hits go back and forth. They aren't often many, but I think to extrapolate that would be pretty smart. So our first forbidden card here is actually Nightmare Mermaid. I'm pretty interested in Mermaid because it's a card a lot of people in the TCG are calling for to be hit. But along those terms also, the Megatins for 2019 already have Mermaid listed as one of the cards and reasons to get this, so likely a prismatic secret rare. Konami really doesn't want a reprint of Zodiac being hit right after the 10s and people being really salty on spending their money on a product and then getting banned cards from it. It's very interesting that Konami does have that in mind because we've seen it moving forward. They also tend to reprint a lot of the cards moving forward in other products such as March. I do think that we might get Mermaid for one more list in the TCG or see it hit early as a one-off because they have upped the amount of secret rares in the Megatins. So I think we could see this ban in the TCG, despite the product description, because of the upped amount of secrets in the 10s. Those are both sides of the argument. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Personally, I'm for the hit, and I think Konami will be taking a look at this in the TCG. Gandora. We already had Dark Matter hit over here. I don't think, I personally think Gandora should be banned. I don't think we will see the ban, but hey, Tyrant Neptune is still on the list, so like, maybe it'll translate over, but I just don't see it until it's an actual problem over here, like consistent problem, not a 3-4 card combo uninterrupted by hand trap problem, but a 1 card combo problem. I think that's what it would take. But again, I'm for it. I am for it being hit. This was super interesting. Everyone was asking earlier throughout the week because in Zodiac there's a ton of threads on Banlist. People were asking how Salamangreats would get hit. One of the top answers was Gazelle, but a lot of people are like, that hurts the deck too much. Maybe they'll go for Spinny, like one of the main cards. Maybe they'll go hit the field spell. Like, there were a lot of out there theories. I think Gazelle is an amazing way to really cut the deck down, to really hit its resource game, and I think the OCG did a great job with this, and I think it's one of those ones where the TCG would follow suit if they're going to hit Salamangreats. Now, I did say Salamangreats would not be hit on the last list, and it wasn't, besides Debug. There were no direct hits. And moving to the next list is very similar to a repeat in history. Domain Monarchs, the budget deck for everybody. It did really great at the WCQ. Gets slammed. That budget deck really goes down. I think Salamangreats has a very similar fate to Domain Monarchs in that it will perform at the WCQ, it will do pretty well. I don't know if it's going to be winning this year, but its representation in Top Cut has earned it extra hits coming and direct hits coming, and I think it's had its time. So I expect Konami TCG to follow suit. What would you think the TCG will do with Gazelle? This was the biggest surprise to me. 2 hits today. After just this, I expected that to be it for Danger Thunder. You had Thunder Dragon Colossus and Hawk here. 2 major hits. Now, Hawk can just be recurred by Thunder Dragon Roar, but realistically, you want to use Roar's effect to get monsters to the field to help you summon other things, and not necessarily, and usually you end with Hawk getting that from hand effect and getting another Colossus. 1 Colossus, having to recycle Colossus is very painful. It even hurts you from running Thunder Dragon the engine, as the engine, like as it was used in parts of other decks, summon 2 Colossus. Now Colossus can just be kaiju'd over, and then the field wipe happens. I don't see the Thunder engine getting so much use comparatively, especially with the Hawk at 1. Now, versus the TCG, I have no clue how they're going to hit in the TCG. It just got its first win. It's definitely their representation to get hit. But they've got to sell Megatins. You got to keep in mind, Konami cares about the money along with what they're selling. So this is definitely like a point to sell the Megatins unless it's just missing from them. If it's missing from the tins, that's the first red flag that, hey, this is gone. But I think we're gonna like get our list sooner than the tins, right? We're not gonna get it like directly after. I think we'll see this survive on a greater scale than the OCG. Debug, see, this is like those hits. Debug got hit to 1 over there as it did here. Those are the kind of the TCG did this, the OCG did this. This is when I think will be reciprocated the opposite way. I think we will see Metaverse really go down and really try to cripple that Mystic Mine burn deck mentality. Metaverse, I was talking about it earlier in stream. It's unhealthy. The idea of summoning a fair and balanced Floodgate like Necro Valley is cool to me. But when you're doing floodgates like, say, Mystic Mine or maybe even Secret Village, that becomes unfair. Its only use is not really to search the field spell, add it to your hand, and use it later. It's to place a floodgate on the field from deck, and that's where it ended up getting hit here. Their semi-limits, I mean, this should be at 3. It could be, you know. This is very interesting, to 2. I think it's still hit harder over there, if I'm not mistaken, but I really don't want to see a resurgence of spiraling summoning. Ah, it's Pride Month. The dad's at 2. Very well done, Konami Japan. Dark Gruffer. Also, it's Pride Month. But seriously, I think there's a lot of history with these cards, and I'm pretty glad to see Dad go to 2. Should be at 3. I get that it does have those Monarch stats. Oh no, so scary. But that very specific graveyard mechanism of needing exact numbers, like, come on. Dad can be at extras. Pankratops. This is an insanely awesome budget option, but it is being played in so many different side decks that it's just due to be its time. I really like that there's a dollar option that's so powerful for people to decide that it can just go through like the Morphage Engine and Pendulums. Like, it really helps out. That giant attack, that giant body, but he is broken. And they got to make room for the women wrestling cards, right? They got to take the male talent down a notch. We got TG Hyper Librarian here to 2. I believe we got this to 2 also, so that's a later consequence. Cards that aren't hurting anything. Cyberstein goes to 2. Trishula goes to 2. Now, this one's scary to me. We hit Omega over here. Hand loopy cards should not be coming off. I think Trishula is fine at 1. I hope this doesn't follow suit over here, but I could see it happening, and I don't want it to. Cycle to 2 was interesting. Was it limited over there? I actually don't know, but it should just be at 3. Mystic Mine gets hit to 2. That's something I would like to see at 1 or banned over here, and I think we complain about it a lot more over here, so I'm hoping to see a harder hit. Now, talking about what's missing so far from here, I think we in the TCG will hit Saryuja before the OCG does, and I think it will be at 1 over here before it is banned. I think it will have its moment at 1. And I think that will be one of the indirect hits to the Guard Dragon Engine, as the Guard Dragon Engine is completely missing from this list too. Now, the Guard Dragon Engine isn't taking a majority of tops. It's being used in Pendulum and Danger Thunder. So it's not like it's everywhere, but it is still being highly used in the metagame. And so hitting Danger Thunder, it'll be interesting to see where the Guard Dragon Engine gets abused in their metagame. Elemental Hero Stratos to 3. Something we'll never see in the TCG, I feel like, but would be very welcome, especially with all that Evil Hero support they just got. I would like to see more support for Evil Heroes coming here too, and Konami does like to sell its sets, so it will be interesting to see how if it just peels off to 2 for us because we're getting Evil Heroes. I would not like to see Dynamite Knight, the True Draco Fighter, to 3, but I can see it happening because True Dracos are highly represented, but not piercing the top cut nearly as much as a deck for its representation and cheapness. It's also one of the best decks for people to learn to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! In terms of, I don't use my extra deck, I'm learning tribute summoning, I'm popping things, I'm learning interaction with other cards. So, and unfortunately, I could see the TCG doing this one. Hey! The cards we never got hit, that OCG kind of reached for, they really hit knowledge fast over there. Solemn to 3? I won with Triple Solemn. You're looking at the boy who set a trend. I really like Triple Solemn, but I just don't see the TCG. Similar to Stratos, I don't see the TCG doing it, at least not for a very long time. And odd enough, after hitting the burn deck, Ceasefire to 3. Sure, why not? I don't think that's problematic. It's either at 2 or 3 here. I want to say it's already at 3, but I'm not 100% certain. So that's the OCG list in its full entirety, and how I think it compares to what will happen in the TCG's future. I think very few things will transfer over immediately to our next list. Very few, but I think long term we will see it even out. you got to remember, the OCG is a set and a half-ish ahead, so they've definitely had extra time to play with these, and you have to really give that towards our list as well in terms of the timing it takes to get these hits. So thank you so much for watching, and especially if you were here live, I super appreciate you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I really enjoy being able to do this for a living, and I want to grow the channel more, so we're going to be making a lot more amazing content here soon. I've got a lot of ideas. I'm getting that creator surgence within myself to really do some fun stuff here in the future. And let me know definitely what you think about the specific examples and what you think will carry over and what doesn't have a chance to happen over here. Like, how do you see Konami USA versus the OCG handling these different cards? And how do you feel about that too? You know, obviously there has to be a difference with them ahead and how fast cards impact the meta now. But what do you feel about the differences later? Definitely let me know what you think about that. Thanks for watching, everybody.